Scaffolding, moving towards academic language. Depending on the situation, we use different forms of language. There is a difference between context-embedded and context-reduced language. Context-embedded language is a face-to-face conversation. Both people share the same space and time, therefore they can refer to the context when talking. Furthermore, they might use gestures to underline what they say, and the face expresses parts of the message. On the other hand, there is also context-reduced language. In a book without pictures, language is decontextualized, which means that the message is transmitted only via the use of language. During language acquisition, children acquire those different forms of language use. For a baby or toddler, language is used contextualized. When children read and write, the use of language is in a context-reduced way. Depending on the experiences in the home environment, children have access to a decontextualized language. At the latest, when the child enters school, they come in contact with decontextualized language. Children are then asked to understand and use this language. This context-reduced language is called academic language. At school, teachers do not only use this form of language, school is also the place to support students in the acquisition of academic language. Some examples for different usages of language at school can be given. During group work, students usually use context-embedded language. When orally presenting something to class, the usage of language is in between context embedding and context-reduced language. As described before, writing tasks require language which is taken out from the context. Now I will give you some examples of those different types of language. The examples are from Pauline Gibbons' book Scaffolding Language, Scaffolding Learning, which is an excellent book for teachers.
This, no, it doesn't go. It doesn't move. Try that. Yes, it does, a bit. That won't work. This is not metal. They're the best going really fast.
The next example is spoken by one student about the action after the event.
We tried a pen, a pencil sharpener, some iron fillings and a piece of plastic. The magnet didn't attract the pen.
The next text is a written example by the same student.
Our experiment was to find out that a magnet attracts. We discovered that a magnet attracts some kind of metal. It attracts the iron fillings but not the pin.
The fourth and very last example is taken from a child's encyclopedia.
A magnet is able to pick up or attract a piece of steel or iron because its magnetic field flows into the magnet, turning it into a temporary magnet. Magnetic or it causes only between various materials.
Teachers support the acquisition of academic language by scaffolding the language of their students. We will give some examples for that in this lesson of the MOOC.